Let me start by saying I really enjoy driving, and I will often be on the road for hours just listening to music and getting lost. So more often than not, I will sleep in my car on the side of a country road. I don't like it when I'm the passenger though, so I will always go alone. Usually I sleep for a bit, wake up, then go home without incident. There has been a couple of times when a deer has startled me, or even a person knocking on my window to make sure I was okay. But what happened last night takes the absolute cake. I took my dogs up to a really nice walk I had read about online. It was about a 5-hour drive and I had planned to drive for an hour at a time, explore for a bit, then keep going so the dogs didn't get restless or bored. I had taken plenty of food and water and was planning to be gone for about a day, which I was, and was going to park in a popular parking spot that caravanners and the like tend to stay overnight. It was lovely, and myself and the dogs had a really good time. We arrived at our sleeping destination and found that there wasn't any space to park. The bays weren't laid out, so you just kind of had to use your common sense and find a spot where you weren't blocking anyone in. The parking area was free and could only contain about 10 cars without it being too tight. I was a little annoyed, but it was a very rural area, so I carried on for a little while and pulled over to rest before I drove home. I let the dogs out to do their business and then went to sleep, thinking nothing of it. To describe where I had parked, it was opposite a little cottage, but not directly in front of it, and there were plenty of trees, so I didn't feel as though I was intruding on the owners in any way. I felt very safe. For some reason, I was having trouble nodding off. Usually I slept like a baby in my car because it is very spacious and comfortable. And as silly as it may sound to some, I genuinely thought I had nothing to worry about. That was until a long, high-pitched scratching sound woke me and the dogs up at around 11 p.m. Just after I had drifted off. The dogs went nuts, as they usually do at the drop of a hat, and I was still in a confused daze when I saw a very tall, middle-aged man dragging what I thought was a key around the perimeter of my car. He walked very slowly and didn't take his eyes off me the entire time. He also had a very malicious grin on his face. Horrified, I cranked my chair up and started the car, ready to floor it, but he had made his way to the front of my bonnet, and trees were blocking me from reversing. This was when I saw that he was holding a butcher's knife. He held it up and sort of waved it at me. I screamed and laid on the horn, and my dogs had leapt over the back seat and were practically frothing at the mouth, but it didn't seem to faze him. This lasted about 10 to 15 seconds. Not long, and then he just slowly walked away across the road and into the cottage. I drove home without stopping. I'm never, ever doing that again. Thanks for ruining it for me, genuinely terrifying man. And thanks for ruining my paintwork. I don't know if he was just trying to teach me a lesson for parking outside his house or what. But either way, I will probably be scarred for life.